everyone. My name is Kamolak, or you can call me Nitnoy from the DottedSign team. And actually, we are quite happy to have everyone here, and very happy to have you to join our session. And thank you all of you that are still being with us until now. So in this session, we're gonna sharing with you how to transform your experience from the high to retire with the eSignature solution. Before that, we have the panelist discussion talking about the trend and how to utilize the digital tools and how to be responsible for the market change and customer demand. So the question before we start to the next page is more like, I think some of the question pops to our client. So some of the question is like, is it necessary for them to start to adopt the digital tools, or if they would like to adopt some of the digital tool, what kind of tool that going to fit in their organization? And some of the organization also asking like, okay, so considering about when they would like to adopt some tool, is it cost a lot, or is it take long time to implement that, or it's gonna be like, what is the ROI to adopt that solution? So in this session, we are going to provide some insight of the DottedSign or the digital signature tool, and then you can see how it can streamline the HR experience in your workflow process. Okay. Then, so again, what we would like to focus when we would like to adopt one of the tools, like the digital signature tool like the DottedSign. So we would like to help the HR professional to focus more on the people, not just only spend more time on the paperwork. In this presentation, what we're going to cover, we're going to cover on the implementation of the DottedSign in the HR workflow process. And by the end of the session, we also would like to introduce some of the DottedSign feature, and also some of the, I think we have some time to provide the live demo action to help you guys see how it simplifies the HR operation and how can your workflow can be more effective and reduce some of the administrative tasks. And before we go to the implementation part, I think we would like to walk you through some of the essential HR documents. Thinking about this, when we have the new employee or thinking about the group of employee, what kind of state or what kind of document that HR need to deal with those employees? So we can divide it into the top 4 stage, the major 4 stage. The first one could be the recruitment. So once you communicate with the employee, you interview with the employee, later that you may need to spend some time to prepare some of the document like offer letter or maybe the employee contract to send to the new member to get into your company. And then later that some of the process, maybe you need to start the onboarding process for those employees. Maybe some of the document that gonna be in this stage could be the orientation checklist, employee handbooks, and also maybe you need to help them set up the account and create some login to use the system in your organization. Later that, once the employee get into or be in your company, so there are gonna be like lots of activity, like startup, and also in this time like even the corporate or big organization, there are a lot of activity that will encourage the employee to do the self training or personal development. Maybe you also need to get their acknowledgement or time and attendance for your HR document. And then by the time that some of the employee will need to, hey, I'm gonna say goodbye to all of you, or they will graduate from your company. So maybe you also need to help them to work on the handover checklist document, or maybe some of the termination letter. These are all of the essential HR documents that related to the people in the company. So you can see like a lot of documents, and each document may have its own workflow for that one. So in this case, what we're trying to walk you through, so we were trying to walk you through when we use the DottedSign in the HR process, what the workflow should be in this case. So we start with the recruitment process, thinking about it. So now everyone are the HR. So you're gonna be the Mr. A or the HR member. and then some of the newbie or the new employee gonna be the Miss B. So after you communicate with Miss B, and then you would like to accept Miss B in the company. So in traditional way, maybe you need to prepare the contract by yourself. But when we adopt the DottedSign, you can start to prepare the contract in the DottedSign environment. And later that, after you finish the preparation, the DottedSign can send the contract to new employee. After Miss B or the new employee or the new member receive the document, she can just sign the document. And later, if finished, the document will send back to Mr. A automatically. So this is the flow when we use the DottedSign. So it's quite similar for that you working on the traditional way at this time. But what the document that Mr. A will receive after finished signing, so he's gonna receive the completed task or the completed employee contract, and also the audit trail to check the activity when Miss B signed or what time she signed, and some of other activity record in here. So what we can see from this part, in the traditional way, so we can see that one, we send out the document to the new employee, maybe it could take a day or a few days for them to get back on the document and send it back to you. But with the new flow, with the DottedSign, everything could finish within a day, or probably if they are very, very excited, could finish within an hour. So that's gonna be the new flow for us. Then welcome Miss B to the new company. And then now Miss B start to do something in the company, maybe personal training, set up the employee card and everything. So I should put some the scenario that that you guys gonna see how the employee training and everything in the company looks like. So again, Mr. A, still the HR member. So Mr. A would like to start the to help the employee start the employee club and everything. Maybe the employee welfare meeting or something. So they're gonna include lots of group of employee in this stage. So after the activity done, Mr. A may need to get everyone to sign the document to maybe to show for their audit regulation or something. So Mr. A again start to prepare the attendance form in the DottedSign environment. And then Mr. A start to collect the signature from multiple participants at the same time. So this is what DottedSign can provide in this case. And after everyone or the employee sign the document, so the document again sent back to Mr. A automatically. And then Mr. A can receive the completed document and also the audit trail again. So what happened in this stage? So in the traditional way, Mr. A maybe need to prepare each document per each person, or maybe require all those participants to sign off the document in person, and maybe require some of the print, signing, and scan. That's gonna be cost for the paperwork. But in this time, with the DottedSign environment and DottedSign feature, Mr. A can just use the public form or the bulk sending feature to collect the multiple signature from those participants. So that's gonna be the easier way to work on this part. And by the time that one of the employee, again, we need to say goodbye to Miss B. Miss B stay with us for a couple of days, maybe a couple hours, and then she need to say goodbye from this company. So it's a time of boarding process in this case. So again, Miss A start to do some document to help Miss B finish all those tasks. So it means Mr. A start to prepare the handover checklist and then send it to Miss B. After Miss B finish everything and sign the document, this time we're gonna need more, maybe a couple more person or one more person. They're gonna be Miss B supervisor, approve on her leaving. So after these two members sign the contract or sign the agreement, then the document can be sent back to Mr. A automatically again. So in this case, you can see that in the traditional way, so maybe if Mr. A cannot even track the signing status, or maybe it's hard for Mr. A to check where is the document right now, maybe on Mr. B or on Miss B or maybe Miss B supervisor. But in this time, he can also use some feature of the DottedSign, see the real-time tracking on the dashboard to see if waiting for maybe Miss B supervisor or maybe waiting for Miss B to sign the document. So this is how it makes the process easier for the HR operation. And then apart from those scenarios that we provide earlier, we can also provide some of the features that could help simplify the HR operation. So we know that like we showed you earlier, we have lots of documents in the HR operation. It's better for HR team to have some template. So DottedSign provide a template to help you make the contract and offer letter or other document faster. And then we show that we have the real-time tracking to see who received the document, who signed the document, or declined the signature request on the dashboard workflow. And then we also provide the bulk sending, like I show you in the scenario to collect the multiple signing earlier. So it means you can send one document to receive the multiple members across your organization at a time. And later that, of course, for the digital signature, we provide the remote signing. And as we mentioned earlier, we have the advanced security to include the digital certificate and the audit trail. And the last one that we also provide, we have the admin console. So it means the admin of the DottedSign can also see the document organization and control the employee permission to access the document. So this is going to be a major feature that could help the HR professional work on the workflow more efficiently. I think we still have some time, right? Okay, so if we still have some time, I think I'm going to show you how the DottedSign in the real environment work in the practice. So maybe we start with the remote signing, and then you can see the dashboard from the real-time tracking. If we have more time, a couple minutes left, so we can show all the features here. Let me switch the dashboard. Wait a second. I'm not sure all of the participants here. Have you ever experienced any digital signature solution before? I believe that a few of you know about this solution, and maybe some of you have already adopted this kind of solution. So this is the DottedSign dashboard. I hope you can see my screen now, right? Okay, cool. So I'm using the DottedSign on the web browser. So after you type like DottedSign.com, so after you log in, you're gonna get to this dashboard. The dashboard and our UX UI is very simple and straightforward. So here in this panel, you can see like if there are any document that waiting for you to sign, 0 is mean you don't have any document waiting for you to sign it. So if you are the task creator, so and you create some task, this panel gonna be how many tasks that you wait the order to sign the document. Once the task is completed, it's gonna move from this stage to this one. And the list is also auto setting and some of the admin console that I can show you a little later by the end. So let's do something simple here. To get the signature, for example, the HR, I'm Mr. A at this time. And then I would like to prepare some of the contract to get the signature for one of our employee. So I can just go to the plus button and then get the signature. Then I will need to select the file that relate to my working right now. So maybe we can just use the employee leave form, someone leaving from our company. So the task name you can just change, maybe leaving from company A, for example. And then actually for the upload document, so you can upload more than one document. You can upload multiple documents at once. You can just select more file if you have to. And then you can manage the signer. So in this case, I'm gonna ask one of the employee to sign the document. So I'm gonna use my email address and then see if I can use Anushka, sorry, I need to borrow your email. So you're gonna be my supervisor. Okay. And then you can also manage the signer by setting the signing order here. For example, in this case, it's gonna be once the employee sign off the document, then the supervisor will receive and sign the document later. So from this part, if everything go right, so we can just click continue. Then it will, after the file processing, it will link you to the second page. So we can just leave the shortcut. So this is the employee leave request form. So we know that this is the panel of employee and this is the panel of supervisor. So where in this form that you will ask the employee to fill in the information, maybe you will ask her to fill in her name and then the date of the request. Sorry. And then later that, after fill in the information, maybe you're gonna need her supervisor to fill in the signature here. Some of other features that are available in here, so you can choose the checkbox or little button, or you can ask them to insert the image, or if you would like to ask them to insert the attachment. For example, maybe the company ID card. You can also set if it's mandatory field for them to check or to insert it, or maybe not. And then you can also see if you would like the signer to see the attachment before it's sending. Then just add. Okay. If there is no auto fill that you will ask those two signers to fill, you can just click preview first. Maybe you will see the form like this. And then if it's go right, you can click continue. So in this page, you can see that before we send, you can review again who are the signer in this case. Gonna be the employee, Kamolak, and her supervisor, Anushka here. And then you can also ask them to identify their identity authentication. But some of the document, maybe you don't really need them to, to receive the OTP via email or to receive the OTP via SMS to identify who are they, right? So you can just click, not required here. And then later that, maybe you also need some other HR member to see once the document is finished, you can also add the CC list over here. If you don't have it, you can just leave it blank. And you can also set the auto reminder or the expiration date of this document. For example, so she needs to leave soon. So maybe within 7 days or after 7 days, this document gonna be expired. And at the end, you can also leave some message to the signer. So the signer, for example, I will just leave the message for those two, right? Yeah. Please sign this. Okay. And if after you review it and it's go well, so you can just click send. So it means the task is created. So, and then I would like to let you see the panel, the dashboard for the task creator. So you can see it up here. For example, we create the employee leave request form. After created, you can see it's pending for Ms. Kamolak to sign the document. And then I think if we still have some time, I'm going to show you the signer view. Okay. Okay, hope you see my screen now. Okay, for the signer. So for the signer, actually, for the signer, you don't really need to have the DottedSign account or the DottedSign subscription. So you can just receive the document and by email, and then you can just click view and sign the document here. Because now I'm using DottedSign accounts, so when I click the signature, so I have already created my signature over here. So maybe I can just choose it. But if you don't really have the DottedSign account as a signer, you can create the new signature way for you. You can just click apply. So if you see over here, so it means your task is completed. You can just click finish. So this is the complete version of to get the signature from another person, from the signer via the DottedSign. Okay. Then I'd like to switch back to, okay, here. So I think from this part, we can see of the real remote signing and also the real-time tracking of the DottedSign workflow process. Even though like in this presentation, we are really focused on the human resource workflow, but actually for the DottedSign, you can implement it in other departments like maybe logistic or maybe sales team to send the document to get the signature from other party. So you can use it in your own organization like internal approval workflow process, or you can send the document outside of your organization that's gonna be work for the DottedSign as well. So this part for the DottedSign, we think is a solution for, of course, for the digital transformation, and we're gonna encourage for every company size, either SMB or the enterprise, to start to adopt this solution for their workflow process. And yeah, like explained earlier, we also have the white paper that you can download over here. And if you really need us to walk you through the real demo session, or you would like to consult with us about how to adopt this type of solution, you can go to our website and book the demo session over here. Yeah, that would be all for the keynote session. Thank you, everyone.